As we head closer to the 2022 World Cup, we have the final round of continental qualifiers taking place in March. With 15 teams already qualified, that leaves another 15 spots to be decided now in March, with the remaining 2 spots determined in June through the intercontinental playoffs. First, we have the Asian qualifiers. Looking at Group A, Iran and Korea Republic have already qualified through the top 2 spots. They play each other in the first of 2 games for the Asian sides in what could determine who finishes top of the group. Syria have already been eliminated, only gaining 2 points so far, so that leaves the United Arab Emirates, Lebanon and Iraq fighting off for that 4th round spot. The UAE sit in the key position at the moment on 9 points and can knock out Iraq out of the race with a result against them on the 24th of March. Lebanon would have to win both of their games against Syria and group leaders Iran to be in with a shot of progressing, but would need the UAE to lose against either Iraq or Korea Republic as well. Looking over at Group B, Oman, China and Vietnam have already been eliminated. That leaves Saudi Arabia, Japan and Australia playing off for the top 2 spots. Australia are 3 points off the qualification spots, but have to play both Japan and Saudi Arabia this month. If they could get a result against Japan, that would put them ahead by goal difference while still needing to play Saudi Arabia, who currently sit top of the group. Japan also have to play Vietnam, while Saudi Arabia play China. The 2 third-place teams of each group then play off against each other in the 4th round to determine which team will go to the intercontinental playoffs to play the 5th best South American team. The 4th round will take place in either May or June this year. Heading across to the African qualifiers, all that is left is the 3rd round matches with the 5 winners qualifying directly for the 2022 World Cup. In the first match, we have a replay of the AFCON final as Egypt come up against Senegal. The draw was based off FIFA rankings as of November 2021, with Senegal first and Egypt the 6th best African team entering the 3rd round. Egypt will be looking to get revenge on their loss in the AFCON final a month ago and look to qualify for the 2nd time running and 4th ever, while Senegal will be hoping to make their 3rd World Cup. In the second match, we see Cameroon face off with Algeria. Cameroon managed to top Côte d'Ivoire in Group D of Round 2. Neither team qualified for the 2018 World Cup, so both will be looking to book their place this year after both last appearing at the 2014 World Cup in Brazil. Algeria failed to impress at the AFCON, finishing bottom of a group containing Côte d'Ivoire, Equatorial Guinea and Sierra Leone picking up just 1 point. The third match sees Ghana facing off with Nigeria. The 2 teams, often seen as some of the best nations within Africa, now must face off for just 1 spot at this year's World Cup. As with Cameroon, Ghana were unable to qualify for the 2018 World Cup and will be looking to get over Nigeria, who have been to the last 3 World Cups. However, Ghana have not impressed lately, also finishing bottom of their AFCON group, gaining 1 point after a draw with Gabon and losses to Morocco and tournament debutants Comoros. Match 4 sees the lowest ranked nation still left, the Democratic Republic of Congo, play off against the 2nd highest ranked nation, Morocco. Although Morocco are ranked much higher, they have been leaving out big names in their squad of late, and Hakim Ziyech has retired from international football after missing this year's AFCON. Morocco have been to 5 World Cups, while the Democratic Republic of Congo will be looking to qualify for only their 2nd. The final matchup of the African qualifiers sees Mali face off with Tunisia. They were in the same group of this year's AFCON, with Mali winning the encounter 1-0 thanks to a 48th minute Ibrahima Kone penalty. Tunisia finished 3rd in the group with just 1 win against Oceania. I've probably pronounced that wrong, I'm sorry. While Mali finished top, only dropping points against Gambia in a 1-1 draw. Tunisia will be hoping to qualify for their 6th World Cup, while this would be Mali's 1st World Cup should they qualify. Looking over at the Concaf qualifiers, and Jamaica and Honduras have already been eliminated. Canada have assured themselves of at least a playoff spot and need just 2 points from 3 games to gain qualification to their 1st World Cup since 1986. The United States and Mexico sit 4 points behind Canada on 21 points, and both look set to qualify as well. Panama and Costa Rica sit 4 and 5 points respectively below Mexico and the US, and will most likely battle it out with Costa Rica for the intercontinental playoff spot, although both teams can still qualify directly. El Salvador can still qualify for the playoff spot, but look very unlikely to do so unless Panama pick up a max of 1 point and Costa Rica only manage to pick up 2 points. While El Salvador would require 3 wins from 3 against Jamaica, Costa Rica, and Mexico. Mexico hosts the US in the first round of games in what could decide the second top spot for the Concaf region. Overall, the automatic spots look to be decided with Panama and Costa Rica battling it out for 4th place, with both sides still needing to play Canada and the US, and then Honduras and El Salvador respectively. The 4th place team would qualify for the playoffs and will face the Oceania winner. Next we look at the South American qualifying, where Brazil and Argentina have already qualified. Ecuador have assured themselves of at least the intercontinental playoff spot, while needing just 1 win against either Argentina or Paraguay to qualify. Bolivia sits 6 points outside the playoff spots with 2 games remaining, so look very unlikely to qualify, while Paraguay and Venezuela have already been eliminated. That leaves Uruguay, Peru, Chile, and Colombia likely fighting off for the last automatic spot and the playoff spot. Uruguay hosts Peru in the first round of matches, and then Chile hosts Uruguay in the final round, providing Uruguay with a hard finish to qualifying. Colombia have relatively easy matches compared to the rest, with games against Bolivia and Venezuela. Chile have to face Brazil before playing that Uruguay match. The team that does take the 5th spot place will play the Asian 4th round winner. In terms of the Brazil vs Argentina match that got called off after the Brazilian health officials walked on, no date has been set by FIFA yet, and both teams have qualified already, so this game may not even be played at all. Now time for the most important region of all, Oceania. Tonga have had to withdraw from the qualification due to the 2022 Hunga Tonga explosion and tsunami, so the Cook Islands have taken up the 4th spot in Group A. In Group A, the Solomon Islands, Tahiti, Vanuatu, and the lowest ranked side, well, with no ranking at all actually, the Cook Islands, face off. The Solomon Islands would be expected to top this group, with Tahiti seeming like the likely runners-up. The Cook Islands will be in for a tough tournament, having only won games against American Samoa, and Tonga, as well as non-FIFA sides Kiribati, Tuvalu, and Wallis and Futuna, who they have each played once, giving the Cook Islands a 100% record against these 3 nations. The Cook Islands have not played a game since 2015 and hold a negative 191 goal difference in their history, and have only played against other OFC and Pacific nations. In Group B, New Zealand, New Caledonia, Fiji, and Papua New Guinea battle out for the top 2 spots. New Zealand are heavy favourites for the Oceania region, but that does not mean it will come easy for the Kiwis. The mini-qualifying tournament will be played entirely in Qatar, meaning hot and humid conditions which will favour the island nations more. The tournament also starts outside the international window, so clubs do not have to release players, meaning New Zealand will be without some key stars in their opening match. In saying that, they are still favourites to win. New Caledonia and Fiji will have a good battle for the second semi-final spot. New Caledonia ranked just 8 spots above Fiji, with the Fijians being led by Roy Krishna, so it should be a well-fought contest when these 2 sides go head-to-head in the opening round. The top 2 teams qualify for the semi-finals, and then the playoff for the final, which is all played between the 17th and 30th of March. New Zealand and Solomon Islands would be expected to be in the final, with the New Zealand side expected to qualify for the intercontinental playoff against the 4th place CONCACAF side. Considering the last time the 2 sides met, it ended up in a 8-3 aggregate win, with Chris Wood scoring a hat-trick in the first match. Finally, we have the UEFA qualifiers, which essentially sees 3 sets of semis and finals to determine the last 3 European qualifiers. Starting with Path A, Wales play Austria while Scotland hosts Ukraine. Wales vs Austria could be quite a close affair. Both sides knocked out in the round of 16 at last year's Euros, and only 10 spots separate them on the FIFA rankings. Austria finished 4th in their qualifying group, but advanced to this round due to their Nations League position, while Wales finished 2nd, just above the Czech Republic. Should Austria go all the way and qualify, this would be their 8th World Cup, while this would only be Wales' 2nd. Scotland, ranked 40th in the world, are looking to qualify for their 9th World Cup and first since 1998. After finishing 2nd in their group behind Denmark, they now have to face Ukraine, who finished 2nd behind France in their group and are ranked 27th in the world. Ukraine were the lowest finishing second place team coming up against Scotland, who are second. Path A consists of a fairly even set of teams, and any of the 4 teams could qualify, though based on recent history you would expect Austria or Ukraine to triumph, but then they were the worst 2 teams in qualifying, so it's anyone's spot to win. Path B sees Russia host Poland, whereas Latinless Sweden host the Czech Republic in the other semi. First, Russia, who finished second behind Croatia by just a point, will be looking to qualify for the 12th time after hosting the last tournament. They come up against Poland, who finished second behind England in Group I. However, there is a lot of uncertainty around this fixture due to current events, with Poland and Sweden refusing to play against Russia. I believe the Czechs have also refused now as well. So far, FIFA have only moved the game to a neutral venue with no flag, anthem, or fans for Russia, while they'll be called the Russian Football Union in this match. We will have to wait to see how this unfolds. Then we have Sweden, who will be without their main man Zlatan Ibrahimovic for the semi due to a suspension for 2 yellow cards. They play the Czech Republic, who haven't been to a World Cup since 2006. Sweden finished second behind Spain, while the Czech Republic qualified through their Nation Leagues ranking after finishing third behind Belgium and Wales in Group E. Sweden would probably be expected to play Russia or Poland in the final, with perhaps Poland being the more likely of the 2. Still, another tight path to predict. Finally, we have Path C, the path of death if you like. First, we'll look towards the semis, where we see Portugal host Turkey. Both teams finished second in their groups, and both had underwhelming Euros last year. Turkey were dubbed the dark horses, but failed to even get a point in their group, while Portugal were in the group of death and finished third, picking up 4 points, before losing to Belgium in the round of 16. Portugal are expected to reach the final here. In the second semi of Path C, we have North Macedonia travelling to Italy. North Macedonia finished second behind Germany, beating the likes of Romania and Iceland. They competed at the Euros for the first time last year, finishing bottom of Group C, failing to pick up a point. It seems very unlikely the European champions would fall at the first hurdle of the playoffs. The likely final here is Portugal with Italy, and Italy more likely to qualify, even though surprisingly finished behind Switzerland in their group. Either way, a big nation and some big names will be missing out on Qatar. Who will qualify for the World Cup and who will make the intercontinental playoffs? It's all up for grabs in March as 15 spots plus the 4 playoff spots are decided. Anyway, thanks for watching this video and see you next time.